What is up, you geezer, blow tie geezers? It is Chris Marder9 here. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Alright, so, yeah, I'll take the win. Arsenal lost earlier in the day against West Ham, 1-0. So, of course, 3 points is extremely crucial with that being the case. You know, we've got to play them next week. So, if it means taking an extra 3-point gap over them next weekend, you know, I'm all for it. Everything's all on Arsenal to get an important performance next week. And then it's up to us to stop them. So, I mean, it's all on Arsenal next weekend, let's be honest. So, getting 3 points today, and with Arsenal dropping 3 points themselves, it gives us a bit of a gap. It helps us to cement 4th place. It helps us to cement a top 4 spot, right? I think we're 1 point behind Spurs now. So, if Man United beat Tottenham at Wembley, suddenly it starts to become a little bit interesting, doesn't it? But anyway, I digress. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Having said all of that, having said the fact that it was a 3-point win, you know, I'm very, very happy. It wasn't the best performance, it has to be honest. I mean, this was another one of those games where we made lower opposition look good out there today. You know, following on from that 0-0 draw against Southampton, there were times that we let Newcastle into the game a little bit. And it frustrated me a little bit. And especially when Newcastle scored that set-piece goal from the corner. It was a bit of a frustrating time. And, well, Willian didn't give ourselves any favours by missing right after that. But, having said that, there is something that I will not take away from Willian. And that was his amazing goal in the second half. You know, with all the criticism that Willian's been given over the last few weeks or so, he comes up with that. And I have to say, it was an epic finish. It was a tremendous finish. Cut back and found the far corner with absolute ease. Goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. Chelsea makes it 2-1. And I mean, Willian, on a good day, he can score goals like that. And I mean, it's the first time he's put one in like that at Stamford Bridge since September 2018. I just wish that he could do it a lot more. And, well, I don't know, man. I mean, the truth is, Barcelona are still going in for this bid for Willian. And do I still want Barcelona to go in for a bid? And hopefully Chelsea accept it? Well, you see, the thing is, when players like Willian, or when players that aren't doing so well, suddenly they score a goal, I find it very difficult to find the right thing to say. Because there are people that support him, there are people that don't support him. And it's very difficult to have everybody agree on one thing. You either defend him or you go against him. I don't know, but there's one thing that we shouldn't take away from Willian tonight was that absolutely fantastic goal. It was an absolute peach. It really was. And furthermore, it helps us to win the game, so to speak. So, you know, that's something that you can't take away from Willian. I mean, yeah, the overall performance was average, but you know, when you see Willian score a goal like that, you think, okay, fair enough. That's won us the game. That's given us 3 points. I mean, it was a frustrating game. I mean, like I said earlier in the game, we made lower opposition look fantastic at Stamford Bridge again. And we should not be doing this. And furthermore, Hazard as a false 9, again, I keep saying this, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. And I'm hoping that for the remainder of this January transfer window, we are going to focus solely on getting a front man in. Because let's be honest, right? Sarri is using false 9 Hazard over Giroud. I don't know if that's because he doesn't favour Giroud, or maybe it's because he prefers Hazard to play, because Sarri doesn't know where to place him. I think Sarri is trying to use Hazard the way he used Dries Mertens at Napoli. You know, because they both have the same low gravity, if you know what I mean, because they're both small players. They can hold the ball up pretty well. They can move around pretty well. But this is the thing. Hazard is not a natural-born goal scorer. Yes, most of our plays revolve around him. Most of our plays, or assists, or runs up to the goal tend to be around him. But he's not a prolific goal scorer, is he? Nothing like Diego Costa used to be. Not like Fernando Torres, not like Drogba, not somebody that can hold the ball up. That's technically not his job. And I think the false 9 position is forced upon Hazard, and that's not the way to do things. I think we need to buy a striker. I mean, we're linked with Higuain, and we're linked with Callum Wilson, we're linked with Cavani. Just any striker that you can think of, apparently we're linked with. And, well, if we can sign whoever it could be, if we can sign him before the Arsenal game next weekend, that would be ideal. But let's not forget, we do have Marina Granovskaya in charge of transfers. So we're probably looking at deadline day, probably, if my sources are to be believed, or if my thoughts are to be believed. We're probably going to be waiting for a central striker until deadline day. So don't get your hopes up, guys. Not when this absolute wench Marina Granovskaya is in charge. Well, you know what I mean, right? So, ideally, if it was up to me, next weekend against Arsenal, I would try my absolute hardest to get a striker in before that game, play him against Arsenal, and maybe give Callum Hudson-Odoi a bit of participation in that game as one of the wingers. And who else do you put there as a winger? Do you put Willian? Do you put Pedro? Me, personally, I would say Pedro and Hudson-Odoi. Look, I know that Willian scored a fantastic goal, and it was. Great goal. Don't take it away from him. But everybody wants Hudson-Odoi to get his chance. And we really need to give it to him now. Because if we don't give it to him now, he's just going to go off to Bayern Munich. Because, you know, Bayern Munich are really interested in him. And, well, if we don't give him an opportunity, we are going to be kicking ourselves. So, my ideal front three against Arsenal next week, definitely play Hudson-Odoi. And maybe Pedro. And then whoever we sign within that week, if we do manage to get a striker in within the next week, seriously, don't get your hopes up, guys. It's probably not going to happen. But if we do, play him against Arsenal and see what happens. But if we don't get a striker in before then, who do you pick? False 9 Hazard again? Giroud? I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Now, there is one thing I've got to say in this video about a specific player on the pitch today, and that was David Luiz. Apparently, he has a fantastic eye for a pass. I don't know what Cesc Fabregas must have said to him before he left for Monaco, but somehow David Luiz has been able to take that in and put it out on the pitch. I mean, I hate to say this, but David Luiz can pass a ball better than Jorginho, especially when it's based on an actual goal that's about to be scored. Like, David Luiz put the ball in for Pedro to score his goal, right? That's what I mean. He can give Jorginho a run for his money in that team. Jorginho likes to pass sideways. That's pretty much all he does. If he's trying to pass in the middle, he finds it difficult. But not David Luiz. David Luiz, he can put a pass in with instant ease and then have somebody get on the end of it and score. He did it the exact same against Crystal Palace for N'Golo Kante, for his goal over there. I'm just saying. But right now, I think we just have to take the victory. 2-1 is an important 3 points for us, whether it was a poorly frustrating game or not. Newcastle, I don't know, they played a good game. Obviously, we made them look good anyway, because for the last couple of games at Stamford Bridge, we're making teams look fantastic. Leicester, Southampton, you know, Newcastle today, even though they lost, but Newcastle looked good today. We need to stop making lowly teams look good. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, Arsenal is next. I'm not looking forward to it, due to the current circumstances. But if we can get a win over them, that can cement our position in top 4 even safer. Hopefully, Man United will beat Spurs. And, well, things will be looking a lot better than they were a couple of months ago. Right? So, that's been my video today. Thank you very much for watching, if you have been watching the entire way through. Make sure you subscribe to Chris Modder Games, as I sometimes like to say in every single video. You won't be disappointed by that channel. It's a fantastic channel. If you like gaming, go ahead and check it out. I mean, even if you just watch a couple of videos, that'll be awesome. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, where I'll be breaking down the game against Arsenal. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Until the next video, I shall see you later. Hey, and peace.